You ready for some heads to explode? I have the man who is top of class in political commentary, Bill Maher. How is the old school liberal who says the Democratic Party left him in its woke wake more relevant than ever? And is it true? Is he about to meet the man he criticizes most of all? Bill Maher headed to the White House? For reals? Let's get after it.
In today's video, we break down two explosive conversations that have the political world on edge, featuring Bill Maher and Gavin Newsom. And trust me, they do not hold back. In a culture drowning in echo chambers, cancel mobs, and non-stop partisan theater, these two are doing what most people in power are terrified to do, say the uncomfortable things out loud and talk to the other side. Bill Maher goes straight for the jugular, calling out the hypocrisy on both the left and the right. Meanwhile, Gavin Newsom shocks his own party by sitting down with people they've been told never to engage, like Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk, triggering outrage from his own base. Why would he do that? Because they both see the truth. The Democratic brand is in crisis, and fake unity isn't going to save it. This breakdown dives into their boldest and most controversial takes, from the woke train to crazy town, to the rot of overregulation in California, to the real and ignored danger of plastic poisoning our bodies. While politicians keep bickering over headlines instead of solutions. If you're exhausted by political theater and ready for real talk, this is for you. Let's pull back the curtain and get into what's really going on.
Fetterman was in the news today. He said, if you're talking about the Democratic Party, he said, if we don't get our shit together, we're going to be a permanent minority. Doing something about it. I applaud it. I think it's great. You've got this podcast. You're talking to people. You know, it's amazing to me that even that is controversial to some people. They call it platforming. If you talk to someone you don't agree with.
Yeah.
I feel like this country is divided into owners and healers. People think you can own the other side. Yeah, well, Gavin Newsom owned DeSantis. Yeah. DeSantis destroyed Gavin Newsom. Yeah. Or people who want to talk and heal. And I feel like the next president is going to be, at least if it comes from this party, the Democratic Party, someone who wants to talk and heal. And I feel like we're doing that.
It's really been interesting, the reaction to the podcast. I mean, we had some controversial figures on, I'll acknowledge that, and Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and some others. But you're right. I mean, this idea that we can't even have a conversation with the other side.
You have to. They won.
Thank you. That's it, bottom line. And by the way, or the notion we just have to continue to talk to ourselves, or we're in the same damn echo chamber. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now. We had a high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not take cheap shots. I'm not looking to put a spoke in the wheel of their, or at least a crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be. This notion of cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that. They've got to mature about it.
The Democratic Party is spiraling, and not because of Republicans, but because of what Democrats refuse to confront. Bill Maher and Gavin Newsom are two of the only voices on the left with the backbone to admit the House is on fire while party leaders argue over who holds the hose. With public trust collapsing and favorability sinking into the 20s, Maher calls it plainly: the brand isn't misunderstood, it's toxic. Instead of hiding behind party loyalty or recycled slogans, both men are breaking ranks by talking to people the far left would rather cancel than confront, triggering outrage from the woke crowd that screams platforming at any challenge. But if a movement falls apart the moment it's questioned, it was never strong to begin with. Maher and Newsom are done with performative outrage and hollow online activism. They're focused on saving democracy by engaging across divides, calling out cancel culture, ideological purity, and the smug self-righteousness turning the left into an echo chamber. And unless Democrats grow up, step up, and start listening to dissenting voices, they're going to lose, and they'll deserve it.
Don't you think that they should be obsessed with how to do things differently? And you don't even hear them talking about it.
Well, you certainly hear Newsom talking about it. He said he's just started this podcast. I'm sure you heard that. He said he was modeling it on what I do on Real Time. He said, I want to talk to other people. His first guest was Charlie Kirk, who could be not more be on the other side. I like this. I like the new Newsom. I've been asking for this Newsom for a long time. So I think he's a great candidate if he was more of a centrist Democrat, and he seems like he wants to be. So I think it's great, and I can't wait till Friday and talk to him.
I can't wait to see what he says about what he's got working to make that not happen again when the fires come again.
Well, the whole thing is about this state is just so fucked with over taxes and over regulation. I mean, I last time he was on, I was, kidding him about the fact that I took 3 years to get my solar power turned on. Now I just had my roof redone because of the fires, because now I want a fireproof roof. 2 inspections, and you have to pay for those inspections, They're not free. And I asked this on the show last week. I see it got picked up by a lot of people. Why do I have to have inspectors looking at my roof? It's my roof. If it falls on my head, that's my problem. I don't need the government looking over my shoulder here. And this is why we can't get anything done in this state. The government is just too in our fucking business. And he was on last January, and I asked him about this and the red tape, and he had a big answer about, well, well, I'm going to find out what the exact was and see now that it's a year and 3 months later, what's been done. Because if it's nothing, that's not good enough.
It's hard for people in power not use the power.
California is a mess, and Bill isn't sugarcoating a thing. He rips into the state's bloated bureaucracy and sky-high taxes, calling out the kind of red tape that turns basic fixes, like installing solar panels or putting on a fire-resistant roof, into multi-year nightmares. In a state that claims to be leading the climate fight, that should be unthinkable. Maher's point is simple. California keeps getting torched by wildfires, yet leaders refuse to have the hard conversations about toxic burn sites, stalled rebuilding, and why recovery drags on forever. Instead of real action, all we get is regulation stacked on regulation, endless paid inspections, and a government more obsessed with micromanaging rooftops than cleaning up the disaster. He's not just venting, he's exposing a deep failure of leadership in a state that talks big and delivers small. And if California is supposed to be the model for the rest of the country, we should all be worried.
Let me ask you this, last question. You're going to meet with the president.
I am?
So Kid Rock makes it happen. What do you think has been the response so far? What do you think it will be, and why are you doing it? Which I'm totally for, by the way, and I love it.
I get it. Well, I'm doing it because, first of all, it was presented as
a dare.
not a dare. No, just like, maybe this is a beginning to heal America. No, I don't have some sort of complex where I think I can heal America. I can't. Okay, let's get that clear. I'm not going to be healing America. But if 2 guys who've been at each other for so long, I mean, it's kind of a Nixon to China thing. I have the credentials. There was nobody who was harder on Trump or more prescient about the fact that he wasn't going to leave office voluntarily than I was. I feel like I have the credentials. But they also respect me because I'm honest about the woke train to crazy town. And I don't shrink from that. And I've also lost a lot of fans for that. The woke people have left the building, and I'm willing to make that sacrifice. But it does give you a certain credibility. So I just think to meet somebody, first of all, it's an honor to be invited to the White House.
Yes, it is.
And I've already had a couple of people who I said to them, I'm just going to take it as a backhanded compliment that you glide right past the idea that little Bill Maher from Rivervale, New Jersey, just a humble kid from the suburbs, was invited for a private dinner to the White House. You glide right past that to how dare you talk to him, and that you're not impressed by it at all. I'm impressed by it a lot. I'm impressed the fuck out of it. I get to go to the White House, and yes, that is the structure of this dinner, is just let's talk. Let's talk to each other face to face. Let's not stop shouting from 3,000 miles away.
Yep, you heard that right. Bill Maher is going to dinner at the White House. And no, he's not selling out. He's not putting on a MAGA hat, and he's definitely not turning into a Trump fanboy. This isn't about endorsement, it's about principle. Maher made it crystal clear. He's been one of Trump's harshest critics for years, warning from day one that Trump wouldn't leave office peacefully. But he also knows that yelling at each other across social media isn't fixing a single thing. So when the invite came, apparently through Kid Rock of all people, Maher said yes. Why? Because sitting down for an honest, face-to-face conversation is a whole lot more powerful than screaming from opposite corners. It's symbolic, sure, but it's also a challenge. If someone who's been brutally honest about Trump's flaws can still show up and talk like an adult, then what's everyone else's excuse? Thanks for watching, seriously. If you made it this far, you're a real one. If you're tired of the noise and want more unapologetic, honest breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop a comment below. Let's keep the conversation real and keep calling out the BS, no matter where it's coming from. I'll see you in the next one.